slept on the team, now they owe me. I need a ring and a trophy. I say I'm the best cause I am. It's no need in keeping it low-key. I can carve up the D like a turkey, or run straight through the D like a train. This year we ain't taking no losses. It's all about making the game. I hear a lot of trash talk. He call us up making a name. I put on the Jets, the coach will regret even letting them stay in the game. Team morale took a tumble. Next time be humble. I'm the lion in the jungle. You just trying not to fumble. Rumble, young man, rumble. Never slip nor stumble. I take off, poof, magic. Now watch me juke through the traffic. Footwork fantastic. Dominating every facet. Treat the pocket like plastic. Here come the blitz, pass it. Got it on, smash. Put on the gas. I will not crash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash.
It seems like only yesterday we were here for Super Bowl 52 and now back for the road to the Super Bowl here in the Twin Cities at U.S. Bank Stadium. Tonight, it's the NFC's turn to take center stage as we've got a wild card matchup on tap between the Dallas Cowboys and the Minnesota Vikings. Win or go home is the mantra, and off we go. We're underway in this NFC wild card game. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. A bad start there. A big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's second down. On second and very short. Prescott going to take a shot for Gallup. That's caught at the 25. Touchdown, Cowboys. Michael Gallup, 63 yards. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. They talked about stringing together some explosive plays here in the playoffs. That was a pretty explosive play.
It certainly was. And if you're going to win on the road, it certainly helps to have big playability in your hip pocket, doesn't it?
That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
We're going, let's go. 80 weapons.
On second down, Cook. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. 11 yards there, first down. Couple of very nice carries to start this drive out.
Yeah, 2 first downs. And how about that second one? What a nice run on that particular play. I'm telling you, they're going to start to think that this game is easy if they continue to rip off yardage like this.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Now this one to his running back out of the backfield. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. It's a first down on a gain of 10. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
Jalen Smith, the Notre Dame man, in on the tackle.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
They'll try to get it on the ground with Madison. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
Get ready.
First and 10 at the 43.
A first down throw for Cousins. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. DeMarcus Lawrence. Credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the all-pro corner, Josh Norman. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They start on the ground with Elliott. And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Prescott. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. Touchdown, Cowboys! Ezekiel Elliott, 61 yards. And the Cowboys are able to show off their quick strike ability. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything, at least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. It's complete to Diggs. And a good job defensively. They stop him short of the first at the 32. Just a 5-yard pickup, but it leads to 4th down. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. This is taken at the 23. 8 yards on the return following a punt of 41. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That one goes for 30 yards. Prescott now already over 150 yards through the air in the opening quarter. It's 1st and 10. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, a give to Elliott. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Looking for Cooper, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And a great return as he takes us up just shy of the 45. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete. Tried to go back again to Adam Thielen, and it's third down. So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Cousins to throw it. Well, the two men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down. Cousins in the offense is going to stay out there. They're going to try on 4th down. They'll indeed go for it. It's Cousins. And it is incomplete. So, Charles, why in the world do you take that risk there?
It doesn't make a whole lot of sense on the surface, but I've been around enough of these coaches and enough of these meetings along the way. Sometimes they're so confident in a play call that they don't care about the situation. They think that play, at that time, they're going to run it and pick up whatever they need. So maybe that's what influenced him there. I'm guessing because I have no other explanation.
Yeah, that's tough. Own side of the field, that chunk of yardage to pick up. Head scratcher. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13.
Get him. 46. Check. Lucky. 26.
Prescott now from the 50. And that'll be incomplete. The intended receiver, Tavon Austin. And it's 3rd down.
You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was one right there.
Looked over at the sideline immediately after the drop and just saw the dejection. They felt it. They thought he had it. Unfortunately, couldn't come up with it. Forced out to his left. He can run for it, and he will. And he can only manage to get this to the 45-yard line. Well short of the first. 5 yards that time out of the scramble. But now they're looking at a 4th down situation. So here we go. The offense is going to stay out there. They're going for it on 4th and 8. Now Prescott on 4th down. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. Past the 20. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. So they go on 4th down. Not only do they not get it, it turns into 6 points the other way. Disastrous.
And many people think you should just go ahead and knock it down in that situation. Turn it over for the offense. But I had a defensive coordinator recently tell me, we see that as a passive play. We don't do that anymore. We want the ball in our hands, and we want to head the other way.
It's probably also instinct a lot of times. If you see a lot of green grass ahead of you, go ahead and grab it.
It's the exact right play to do. That's knowing when to break the rules and when to make a play that maybe you hadn't been taught.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And following the pick 6, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick 6. We'll see how they attack this run.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told us they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
From the 24, Prescott, rush coming, and he's taken down. Anthony Barr comes rumbling in for the sack.
So if we recount real quick, he had the touchdown earlier, and now he comes up with the sack here. No doubt about it, he's having himself a game.
Dancing to his left. Oh, Prescott stripped. And an alley to run.
I'm plays like this when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
A gain of 3, second down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 7 yards there and a first down.
Exactly what they needed right there because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
2 first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. They'll try to throw now. Prescott. Flush to his right. On the run, he'll let this go deep. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And a great return as he takes this up just shy of the 45.
Okay, it's real simple to say from here, but we know that sometimes as a quarterback, you've got to know when to say when and just throw it away. Flushed out to the right, tries to make something out of nothing here, and he winds up floating one downfield. I think it's intercepted.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. A 2nd down throw for Cousins. Eluding the pressure right. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
On 3rd down, Cousins. Looking for his running back, and he's got it. And he'll take this to the 47, but no further, as they get him down well short of the line to gain. Coming up at the half, we remind you that we're going to do what we've done all year. We'll get you down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. Coach will have the lowdown of what's going on here in this wild card weekend as we begin the road to the upcoming Super Bowl. 31 yards on the punt there. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Prescott from the gun, being chased out left. This to Jarwin, and he's going to have the first down at about the 38. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a 1st down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. From the shotgun, it's Prescott looking deep in the direction of Cooper. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Brad McDougal. And he will take this all the way up past the 40-yard line. Cooper was the target there. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's going to have to make some real adjustments, or the backup may see some time.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41.
Check it back, protect the gun.
Throwing is Cousins. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jalen Smith.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
At the 32-yard line.
Here we go. Here we go. Going to 52. Check me out. Check me out. 26.
10th carry now for Elliott. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last two drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. It'll be a 47-yard attempt from the left hash. So we come upon halftime here in this NFC wildcard matchup. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, one of these two teams about to play their final half of the season as we're back at it in this NFC wildcard bout. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he is out of bounds as they'll start up past the 30. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Play fake. Cousins. And that's going to be incomplete.
Cousins pass. Thrown to the sideline and incomplete.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. On 3rd down, they run with Madison. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. But just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. Now a play fake here on 1st down. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. From the gun, here's Cousins. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, this is Madison. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. 7th play of the drive forthcoming on 3rd and 8.
Hey, we're good, we're good. Hey, orbit. 55 is my guy, 55.
Off the play fake, Cousins. It's caught, Smith. His first catch of this wild card game, and it's good for a 1st down.
And there was absolutely zero pressure on the quarterback on that play. 3rd down, and he has all the time in the world to eventually find an open receiver for a 1st down pickup.
Here's Madison running on 1st down. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
Tighten up, tighten up.
Running from the shotgun with Madison. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. 14 yards, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead's down to a field goal at 17-14. Joseph now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And now it looks like we've got a Cowboy shaken up down there on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 24. They'll start the drive with Elliott. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
Well, that's just running the ball 101 because too much east-west, not enough north-south. Got to get upfield, don't you?
They just kept stringing him out before he knew it. He had hit the sideline. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. The 2nd down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in the cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old-school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion, and both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
He'll rifle this one deep right side. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Darquez Denard. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line. Good starting field position for the Vikings as they have it 1st and 10. Going on the ground with Madison. In on the stop, it was Dorrance Armstrong. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
You got time. You got time. You got time. They got 48.
At the 49-yard line.
On play action, Cousins. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. He's got the lane, and there he goes. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Cowboy defense has a touchdown. Well, we know this defense has athleticism. Spots like that prove us right.
I love the way that you spotlighted the athleticism because you and I both know the best athletes on the field, they play on defense.
I don't know. I was a kicker. You got to remember that now.
Come on, come on.
Fine. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And last time, decent field position through the pick 6. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Xavier Woods with a pick. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. So their woes on offense continue. That's the 2nd pick thrown here in the 3rd quarter.
And we know it was ill-advised, but that was an opportunity to help them get back into the game. Instead, he throws another interception, and now their task is even tougher.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll try and get the running game going with Elliott. And he'll get 3 down to the 34-yard line.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Prescott now, option right. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. He'll get 2 on the keeper, but it becomes now a 3rd down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
Looking to throw, Prescott. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Harrison Smith on the safety blitz, able to get the sack.
How about that? One of the so-called little guys putting the pressure on. That was a strong safety. When I was in college, we often called that a lightning blitz.
And his kick is good. Oh, he just did tuck it into the bottom of that left corner. And that will extend their lead even further. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still is not really hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. Robert Quinn. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. They go play action. Cousins lets it fly for Thielen. And that one incomplete. They try to sneak in a deep ball with the clock running down, but to no avail as time will expire on this 3rd quarter of play. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Going for the deep ball. And they almost had another one. They are all over the football in this game. Nearly another pick. Now 4th down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Escaping the pressure right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. It's caught inside the 25. And all the way down inside the 25 before he gets out of bounds. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. They'll throw again. Cousins. And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. DeMarcus Lawrence able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Throwing. Cousins. And that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
The tackle made there by Harrison Smith. The rush defense stout on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Again, it's Elliott. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Watch the safety creep. Check. We're going to 54. Check.
Another carry tonight for the workhorse Elliott. And that's not nearly going to be enough. Stopped at the 22, and he needed plenty more. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
Well, they got off the field on 3rd down. An excellent job, an excellent defensive series. We always talk about adjustments, and usually only at halftime. But the best teams adjust series to series. And on that series, they adjusted so well that they got the job done in fine style.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Take it at the 37. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position. 1st and 10.
Yellow. Watch the pass. Hey, Haywood.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He's going to air one. And now here is another interception. Xavier Woods with a pick. What a nightmarish game he's having now. 6 interceptions that he has thrown.
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it, but it just tells you about the game of football. It giveth and it taketh away.
Yeah, the guys, though, that have thrown 6 interceptions in a game, the likes of Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, I think Joe Namath, he did it 3 times. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They go to Elliott again. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss. And now it's 3rd down. They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on 3rd down. Elliott. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott, 99 yards. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further.
Look, we all know that sometimes we see upsets in the wild card round. But I have to tell you, in this case, I did not see that coming.
I don't think anyone in the stadium saw it coming. You and I were coming in before the game. There was a couple in front of us talking about travel plans for next weekend. They might want to cancel those.
Yeah, I would say so, because right now it's looking more and more like they're going to be one and done. They're probably trying to call the hotel, make sure they get their security deposit back.
Let's go. Let's do it.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And last time, 1-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by the all-pro corner, Josh Norman. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. Good starting position for the Cowboys here as they come up 1st and 10. A 20th carry here for Elliott. And for one of the first times all night, he is going to go nowhere as they bury him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. They'll keep it on the ground. Elliott. And yet again, he's stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Great job by this Vikings defense. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. And he gets this only to the 44-yard line. Not near enough to keep the drive alive. 5 yards on the screen, but that'll take us to 4th down. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. This is taken at the 15. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. They'll run it with Madison. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. This run defense has been pretty stout all game long. Now you're here in the 4th quarter. To rely more on the passing attack?
I don't think you have any choice, and I don't think you have to dress it up at all either. Throughout the first 3 quarters, you're still trying to convince the defense that you may run the football. That's out the window right now. Protect, let your quarterback operate, and try and find some targets in the open field downfield.
And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. 6 yards on the pickup, and it'll make it a second down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
And this is caught inside the 5. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Adam Thielen, 51 yards. And the Vikings are able to cut into that deficit. Point after, right down the middle. And they're able to cut this deficit down to 12. Joseph now to kick this one away.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
Getting into the playoffs is one thing. Now they get to move on. Just 8 teams left.
The dream stays alive. Everyone's gunning for the Super Bowl. That's the ultimate. But you have to get there in incremental steps. One win today gets them one step closer.
So that'll do it. For my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry, I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. From Minneapolis, good night, everybody.